myself over to the absolute truth. Every day it's getting harder and harder to do. I'm sorry, dear, I'm not trying to be rude, but if you try to...
A lot of major record labels offer 360 deals, so that means they are going to be controlling the sound recording side, the composition side, and the distribution side. So it's a total package deal where they will be able to control all rights and have your music exploited in all ways and collect all the revenue from all sources of exploitation. And then a standard distribution deal for maybe an indie artist would be something like a TuneCore, where you could sign up to just have your music distributed on various platforms, and they would take a small percentage. Normally it's 10 to 20%, and then you receive the rest of the revenue, but you maintain your copyrights. And then maybe just a general publishing admin deal. That's where a songwriter could enter into a deal with an indie publisher or a major publisher to just administer and collect on their behalf, because that publisher has more relationships within the industry and can collect from the various sources where you're receiving income, and then they would take a cut and then pass through the rest to you as well.
Desert Queen. Go ahead, bow down to me in the California.
Again, in this day of age, it's really important to maintain your copyright. That means a lot, and that is not something to give up, because that's how you're going to get paid, based on the interests you own of your copyright. And some deals try to take ownership of copyright. Advocate for not only maintaining your copyrights, I would advocate for the lowest percentages deducted from that company. So how much they're dipping into your royalties just by providing you a service. I would also suggest not getting locked into a long time term. A short time term of your deal, the better, because then you have room to renegotiate after the first term. Some creators choose to enter into work for hire agreements, and generally this means a complete buyout of your rights. So if you're creating a composition for a film, let's say, and a studio has asked you to compose a song for the movie, they're asking for a work for hire, because generally they don't want to be committed to pay you any further royalties. So they're going to offer you a buyout fee in order to have complete control of that copyright. Even though you wrote it, you're basically assigning your copyright to the production company and taking a fee, a buyout fee, to have the song in the film, but have no other rights to that song.
Like a schemer who went out your door. Sure as hell know what I'm fighting for.
So a split sheet basically allocates the percentage of the composition written. So let's say Tappin and I are in an awesome duo called the Democracy Chicks, and we write songs together. And we wrote a song, and half of that song is the recording side and the other side is the composition side. Let's say that Tappin is a little more prolific of a writer than I am, so we decided that the splits are going to be 60% ownership to her and 40% ownership to me. So for every dollar that comes in, half of that dollar is going to go to the sound recording side, but the other half is going to go to the composition side. So 50 cents to the composition side, but that's going to be split 60-40, because Tappin has 60% of the splits and I have 40%. So Tappin's going to get 30 cents, I'm going to get 20 cents.
They will follow.
Start, you can use an Excel spreadsheet. I recommend this to a lot of beginner songwriters who are in sessions with various writers. If they're in the studio, open up a spreadsheet and they track the name of the songs they're working on and who's contributing to them, and put those percentages in and make sure you're keeping track of who's contributing to the songs. Modernization Act was signed into law in 2018, and it started as 3 bills, which then became the 3 main titles to the act. I think the one that's most important to this audience is the first section of the act. So when a song is created, you have two parts to it. One half is the master sound recording side, and the other side is the composition side, the writers and composers. Traditionally, writers and composers had to go out and get one-off compulsory licenses to digitally distribute their music. But with this act, an agency has been established where blanket licenses are available for rights holders. And so this is huge in a time of modern day music where most of our consumers are consuming music digitally. And so this makes the licensing process for that composition side of the song much easier.